Welcome to the explainer. Okay, so have you ever felt that sudden sinking panic in your chest while you're just staring at your phone waiting for a text back? You know the feeling, right? You watch that little typing bubble pop up and then disappear, and your mind just starts racing. You're sitting there wondering, wait, should I double text? Maybe send a meme to kind of diffuse the tension? Or do I just need to try harder to get their attention? Look, we've all been there. It is a deeply painful and honestly universally relatable feeling. But today, we're going to dive into some profound source material that literally flips the script on how we handle that exact moment, and really how we approach our relationships as a whole.
So let's just kick things off with a crucial question. One that's honestly at the very heart of today's explainer. Why does chasing push them away? It's the ultimate relationship mystery, isn't it? I mean, we're so often taught that if we really want someone, we should pursue them relentlessly. We think that by giving absolutely everything, showing maximum attention and always being available, that we're going to finally win their heart. But in reality, giving everything often does the exact opposite. It makes the other person pull away. So why does that actually happen? Well, the source material hits us with a pretty hard truth right out of the gate because you are confusing love with fear. Just let that sink in for a second. When you feel that frantic instinct to overcommunicate, to constantly check in, or keep asking for reassurance, that isn't actually stemming from true love. It's coming from a deep-seated fear of being alone or a fear of losing that person. And here's the thing, people can absolutely sense that fear. Section 1. The illusion of chasing. Why begging for love destroys attraction.
You see, society falsely teaches us that constant availability proves our dedication. We kind of trick ourselves into thinking we're being good partners by making our entire world revolve around someone else. But really, we're falling into a trap that leads to what the source calls the begging mindset, and it shows up in a few ways. It manifests as wanting constant answers, demanding proof of love. Asking things like, "Do you still love me?" or "Why are you acting so different?" It's panicking when a reply takes just a little too long. And ultimately, it means completely losing your own inner stability. When you operate from this mindset, your partner doesn't actually hear the romantic words you're saying. What they sense is the underlying anxiety. They read the desperation. The source material notes that when someone is driven by this kind of fear, they literally lose the firmness in their voice and the brightness in their eyes. They become needy. And neediness? It just repels.
This isn't love, it's slavery. I mean, wow. When your entire emotional state depends entirely on whether or not someone texts you back, you are no longer a free, equal partner in that relationship. You've essentially made yourself a captive. Sacrificing your entire existence, your peace of mind, and your whole identity for someone else? That isn't romantic. It's emotional servitude. Section 2. Love versus attachment. The difference between expanding and shrinking. Most of the time, when we say we're in love, we are actually just deeply attached. And attachment, it makes you small. It shrinks your entire world down to just one person. It brings anxiety, it brings restlessness, and it breeds this constant suspicion and fear. You're always terrified of losing what you're attached to. But on the flip side, true love calms you. It brings profound peace. It actually expands your life and your world, breeding harmony and unbreakable trust. Love is a state of being, guys, not a desperate clinging. I absolutely love this quote from the text. An incomplete person says, "Make me happy." A complete person says, "I am happy. Come share this with me." A healthy relationship is not about two halves trying to fix each other or complete each other like some sort of puzzle. It's a shared celebration of two already whole, complete people. You bring your own happiness to the table. You don't demand that the other person serves it to you. Section 3. The power of boundaries. Standing on your own spine. So how do we actually get to that place of wholeness? Well, it's by developing an inner backbone. The text defines this as the ability to compromise without ever erasing your identity. It means bowing when needed, but never breaking under pressure. Look, having a backbone isn't about having a massive toxic ego. It's definitely not about being stubborn or controlling. It is simply about maintaining your truth and your self-respect, which is literally the foundational pillar for making any relationship actually last. You can listen, sure, and you can adapt, but you never, ever silence your own truth just to keep someone around. Let's break this down a bit. When your primary action is over-accommodating, your hidden motivation is usually the fear of loss. And the end result? A loss of respect. Contrast that with setting clear boundaries. Your motivation there is self-respect. And the ultimate result of self-respect is deep, enduring attraction. Bending over backward out of fear absolutely destroys respect. And without respect, attraction just cannot survive. But holding firm boundaries, that shows you value yourself, which in turn teaches others to value you too. Section 4. Building your inner mountain, returning to your center. Okay, so it's time to shift the focus completely away from the other person and bring it right back to your own life and your own center. The source provides this beautiful, natural metaphor for this. A flower doesn't chase, it simply blooms and shares its fragrance. Think about it. A flower doesn't run after the bees, right? It stays rooted in its spot. It focuses entirely on its own growth and blooming, and naturally, its fragrance just draws others in. True attraction happens naturally when you focus on your own life, your own growth, and your own purpose, rather than desperately chasing validation from someone else. But there is a very, very important warning here. When people get hurt, they sometimes swing to the total opposite extreme. They become the stone, cold, closed off, refusing to love or trust anyone ever again. But closing your heart isn't strength, it's a wound. Instead, the goal is to become the mountain. A mountain is firm, it's deeply grounded and unmovable. Yet it's open and life-giving. Springs of water literally flow from it. It invites peaceful connection. You want to be firm in your boundaries, absolutely, but you have to keep your heart open and alive. Building this mountain requires some real, tangible pillars. We're talking about cultivating your physical body, strengthening your mind, and honoring your words, meaning your actions actually have to match what you say. It's pursuing your own goals fiercely, refining your behavior, and practicing immense patience. Doing this real, concrete work on yourself is the only way to stop relying on a relationship to be your emotional crutch. Because when you stand tall on your own, you become incredibly magnetic. Section 5. Freedom creates lasting connection. Letting go to hold on. This brings us to a beautiful and honestly somewhat paradoxical truth. Where there is freedom, there is attraction. Trying to cage a partner, constantly checking on them, suffocating them with control, that breeds absolutely nothing but resentment and fear. But granting them absolute freedom, that builds unbreakable trust. People want to stay where they feel free to breathe. The relationship becomes a joy, not a requirement. And this brings us to the ultimate mantra of a secure, completely grounded person. I really want you to hear this and internalize it. You are welcome to come, you are free to go, but I will stand firmly on my own 2 feet. This is the highest level of love and self-respect. It means you love deeply, you welcome connection, but never, ever at the expense of your own dignity. Your world does not end if someone walks away, because your foundation is built within you, not within them. I want to leave you with a lingering, provocative thought to take away from today's explainer. Look honestly at your own actions, your texts, your anxieties, and ask yourself, are you truly loving or are you just begging to fill a void? Real love starts when you stop running from your own emptiness and finally build your own center. Be the mountain. Let them come to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to start building that inner foundation today. See you next time.